This is the foundation tier, paper 2 calculator paper from 2020. So originally it was supposed to take place in June 2020, but it actually took place in November. Question 1 says write 0.37 as a fraction. We can use our calculator for this. So if you type in 0.37 into the calculator and press equals, you get 37 over 100. So that's our answer, 37 hundredths. 37 divided by 100 is 0.37. They are the same thing. Question 2 says write 29,381 correct to the nearest thousand. So we found our thousands column, which is the 9 here. Draw a line, and we look at the next column. So the column after is the hundreds. Is it 5 or above? If it's 5 or above, round up. If it isn't, then it stays the same. So 3 is less than 5, so it stays the same as 29,000. So 29,000. Question 3. Simplify 3e minus 1e plus 4e. So when we have an e by itself, it means we've got 1e. 3e, take away 1e is 2e, and then plus 4e. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6e's, 6e. And question 4, write 1/4 as a percentage. To change it to a percentage, again, we can use our calculator. We just multiply by 100. So 1/4 times 100, or 1/4 of 100, one quarter times 100 is 25. So it's 25%. So 25 out of 100 is the same as 1/4. Question 5. Here is a list of numbers. From the numbers in the list, write down a cube number. So a cube number is where we have a number multiplied by itself and then itself again. So 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 cubes, is 27. So the cube number is 27. None of the other ones are cube numbers. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So the only one on the list is 27. Question 6. Liz is watching a film at the cinema. The film started at 14:30. It's 105 minutes long. When the film ends, Liz takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. A bus leaves the bus stop at 16:45. Does Liz get to the bus stop in time to get this bus? So we're at 14:30, and we need to add on 105 minutes. So 105 minutes. An hour is 60 minutes. So if I take off 60, I've got 1 hour and I've got 45 minutes. So 105 minutes is 1 hour, so 60 minutes and 45 minutes. So I'm going to add on 1 hour, which will get me to 15:30. And then add on 45 minutes. So if I add on 30 minutes, that will get me to 1600. And then 15 minutes, so that's 45 minutes. So 30 and 15 make me the 45. So that's 16:15. That's when the film ends. And it takes her 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. So then add on another 20 minutes. That's 16:35. So does Liz get to the bus stop? Yes. So the bus leaves at 16:45. She's there at 16:35. So yes, she does. There's a time button on the calculator that we could have used. So the film started at 14:30, so 14 hours, 30 minutes. And then we add on 105 minutes. So add no hours and 105 minutes. And then 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. Again, add no hours and 20 minutes. And that gets to 16:35. 16 hours, 35 minutes. And that's when she got to the bus stop. Question 7. Farad, George and Tom each did a test. Here are their marks. George drew this bar chart to show the marks they got. The bar chart is not fully correct. Write down 2 things wrong. So what's wrong with this? So it goes from 0 to 71. And, well, that's misleading. So it goes from 0 to 71. And it's not labeled either. So it should say marks, but it doesn't. On the vertical axis. So we could have said, we could also say it's there's no label on the vertical axis, but also Tom's bar is a different width. So Tom's bar is a different width to the other two. So also Tom's bar is wider than the others. And I think that's all we've got. 77, 44, 72, yep. So any 2 of those reasons would be okay. Question 8. ABC is a straight line. Work out the size of the angle marked X. So angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So 180 will be this whole angle. Take away 150. We can use a calculator, but I'm just going to write the answer, 30 degrees. Give a reason for your answer. That's because angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line add to 180 degrees. The diagram below is wrong. Explain why. So we've got a right angle. This square means we've got a right angle, which is 90 degrees. And we've got the other angle around this point written as 280 degrees. So angles around the point should add up to 360. And these 2 angles don't. They should add up to 360 degrees, but 90 plus 280 is 370 degrees. So angles around the point add up to 360. But around this point, we've got 370, which is impossible. Question 9. This scale can be used to change between kilometers and miles. Use the scale to change 40 kilometers into miles. So 40 kilometers is here. It looks pretty much halfway, looks exactly halfway between 20 and 30. So that will be 25 miles. Here is an approximate rule to change from kilometers to miles. Use this rule to change 40 kilometers to miles. So the rule says divide the distance in kilometers by 10 and then multiply by 6. So 40 divided by 10 is 4, then times 6, 24. So that's 24 miles. Compare your answer in part B to your answer in part A. So we've got 24 in B and 25 in A. So 24 and 25, they're quite close. So the approximate rule seems to be quite accurate. It's only 1 mark, so 24 is close to 25. And I will write that. I'll say the approximation is quite accurate. Question 10. Solve 3m equals 36. 3m means 3 times m. 3 times m is 36. And when we're solving, we're finding out what the missing number is. So this m is a number and we're working out what it is. So 3 times something is 36. What's that something? So what we can do, we can divide both sides by 3. So if I divide both sides by 3, I've only got 1m left. So 3m's divided by 3 is just 1m. And 36 divided by 3, we can do on the calculator. And that's 12. So m is 12. Part B, solve again. So again, finding the missing number. 7 minus x equals 3. So 7 minus something equals 3. It's probably easiest to just say 7 minus what number equals 3, and that's 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. Question 11. Here is a cuboid. Work out the volume of the cuboid. So the volume of a cuboid is the area of a cross section, the area of the front, times how far back it goes. So the area of this rectangle is 4 times 10, which is 40 centimeters squared. Then we times by how far back it goes, which is 15. 40 times 15, again use the calculator, that's 600. And that's centimeters cubed. We measure volume in cubes, and we measure area in squares. So 600 centimeters cubed. So they haven't given us the units on the end here, so we have to write the units in. That'll be worth a mark. Question 12. Lucy uses a code to open a lock. The code is a letter followed by a 2-digit number. The letter is L or U, and the number is a prime number between 20 and 30. Write down all the possibilities for Lucy's code. So what are the prime numbers between 20 and 30? None of the even numbers are, because they're all in the 2 times table. 21 is in the 3 times table. 23 is a prime number. 25 is in the 5 times table. 27 is in the 3s again. And 29 is also prime. Again, we can check any of these on our calculator. So if you wasn't sure, you could try and divide it by 3 and see it's not in the 3 times table. And then if you thought it was in the 7 times table, again, you can check and see it's not there. Some calculators actually do prime factors. The one I've got here doesn't. So I can't check like that, but I can try dividing them by different numbers to see if they divide by anything apart from 1 and themselves. So 23 and 29 are prime numbers. We can have L or U. So it's L and 23, L and 29, or U23, or U29. There's our 4 possibilities. Question 13. A machine fills bags with sweets. There are 4,275 sweets. There are 28 sweets in each full bag. The machine fills as many bags as possible. How many sweets are left? So we've got 4,275 sweets, and we're going to put 28 in each bag. So if we divide by 28, we'll see how many bags we can fill. So 4,275 divided by 28. So that's 152 full bags. That's 152.67 and so on. So 152 full bags. So as a fraction, it's just 4,275 over 28. I'm actually going to use the calculator here. I'll do it once with the calculator and once without. So I'm going to press Shift and then the S to D button. Shift S to D, and it's going to make it into a mixed number. So 152 whole bags and then 19 28s left. So 152 and 19 28s. So what does that mean? We've got 152 full bags and then 19 left over. So our answer is going to be 19. Now, without the calculator, or without pressing that button, we've got 152 full bags. So 152 times 28. 152 times 28 is 4,256. That's how many sweets are in the bags, and then we need to take away. So we've got 4,275 sweets, 4,256 are in the bags, and that's my answer from my last answer. Your last answer on the calculator, you can press A and S, and that gives us 19. So 19 again is our answer. Question 14. The table gives information about the number of goals scored by each of 3 teams. So we've got City, Rovers and United, and we need to draw a pie chart. So let's add up the goals to see what we get, and then we're going to work out what angle we have to draw for each team. So the angles are the whole way around the circle. The whole way around have to add up to 360, because there are 360 degrees around the point. So what do we have? We've got 50, 45 and 25. So add them all up. That's 120. So what have we got to do to get from 120 to 360? What have we got to multiply by? So 360 over our answer is 3. So we need to multiply all of these by 3 to work out the angle. So 50 times 3, use the calculator if you're not sure, 150. 45 times 3 is 135, and 25 times 3 is 75. And we can check that they add up to 360, 150, 135, and 75 add up to 360. So now let's draw these angles on. So we need a protractor, and we're going to line it up with the center of the protractor here, this point here at the center of the circle. Then I'm going to rotate it around, so 0 is on the line we've got drawn. So 0 is on the line, the center's on the center of the circle, and our first angle for city is 150 degrees. So I'm measuring round from 0 all the way round to 150, and then I'm going to put a mark there, then move it out the way, get a ruler, draw a straight line, and there's our 150 degrees. The next one is 135, so again, line up the center with the center, then spin it around to line up 0 with a new line now, and we're measuring 135 degrees, so from 0 up to 135, which is there. Now we'll move it out the way, and again get your ruler and join up from the center and join your line. So the angle left should be 75. So I'm going to check that. We just move this line slightly up. There we go. So that's 75 there, and 135 there. So we've drawn it as accurately as we can. Then we just need to label these. So it's City, Rovers, and United. So this one was City. This one was Rovers. And this one was United. Question 15. T equals 3x plus 4y. Work out the value of t when x is 5 and y is negative 7. So t is equal to 3 times x, and I'm going to use a bracket here for my times, and plus 4y, and y is negative 7. So wherever I had the letter, I've just changed it to a bracket, and then I've put the number in its place. So I've got 3 5s and 4 negative 7s. Now I can type this in the calculator exactly how it looks. So 3 bracket 5 plus 4 bracket negative 7, and that gives me negative 13. Part B, work out the value of y when t is 38. So t is 38 this time, and x is 6. So 38 is 3 6s plus 4y. So we're going to need to solve this equation and find out what y is. So let's do 3 6s first. And 3 6s are 18. You can use the calculator to check. So I've got 38 equals 18 plus 4y. So this, if I take the 18 off, take 18 away from both sides, I find out what 4y is. So if I take 18 away from this side of the equal sign, and 18 away from this side of the equal sign. So 38 take away 18 is 20, and this side take away 18 is just 4y. So that gives me 20 equals 4y. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So divide both sides by 4. So 4y divided by 4 is just y. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So y must be 5. 20 equals 4 times 5. So y equals 5. Question 16. An exam has two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 has 60 marks. Paper 2 has 90 marks. The pass mark is 2/3 of the total number of marks. Danielle gets 70% of the marks on paper 1. So how many of the marks for paper 2 must Danielle get in order to get the pass mark? So let's work out the pass mark first. So 60 and 90, we can use the calculator. That's 150. And we need 2/3 to pass. So to pass, we need 2/3 of 150. And on a calculator, when we say of, we write a times. So 2/3 times 150, which is 100 marks. So that's the pass mark. To pass, we need 100 marks. Danielle gets 70% on paper 1. So on paper 1, we've got 70% of 60. So again, we've got of, that means times. So 70% times 60. I'm going to use the percent button. So 70% of 60. 70% times 60 is 42. So she's got 42 marks on paper 1. How many does she need on paper 2? So 100 to pass. She's already got 42. 100 take away 42, our last answer, is 58. So she needs 58 more marks. Question 17. Scott wants to make orange juice. He is going to buy boxes of oranges. There are 24 oranges in each box of oranges, and 30 oranges make 2 liters of orange juice. Scott needs to buy enough oranges to make 8 liters of orange juice. Work out the number of boxes that Scott needs to buy. So 30 oranges make 2 liters, and he's going to make 8 liters. So we need to multiply this by 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. For 8 liters, 4 lots of 30. So 4 3s are 100. 4 3s are 12. 4 30s are 120. So he needs 120 oranges to make 8 liters. So Scott needs to buy 120 oranges. That's what he needs to buy. And 24 oranges in each box. So how many boxes? How many 24s do we need? So let's divide 120 divided by 24, and that's 5. So we need 5 boxes. 5 boxes. Scott also buys 1,260 apples and 280 bananas. Write down the ratio of the number of apples he buys to the number of bananas he buys. Give your ratio in its simplest form. So the ratio of apples to bananas. Now a calculator doesn't simplify a ratio, but it does simplify a fraction. So if we write a fraction in, If we write these numbers as a fraction, the calculator will simplify them for us. So I'm going to write 280 over 1260 and let the calculator simplify it. So it's 2/9. So the 280 is two parts, and the 1260 is 9 parts. So we've got 9 parts to 2 parts, and that's in the simplest form. So 9 to 2. Question 18. So we've got these two triangles, A and B. Describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. And we've got a rotation here. So you can use tracing paper in your exam to figure out where a rotation goes. So the middle of these 2 points here, halfway in between them, exactly halfway, that's going to be our center of rotation. That'll be where you hold the tracing paper. And then if you started this way round and span the tracing paper around, triangle A would land on triangle B when this arrow turns around and faces down. And that will be a rotation of 180 degrees. So to describe the transformation, it's a rotation. It goes around 180 degrees, and the center is at this point here, -1, 0. So x coordinate first, then the y, -1, 0. Question 19. Adam, Linda, and Ritus share an amount of money. Linda gets 3 times as much. Linda gets 3 times as much as Ritus gets. Linda gets half as much as Adam gets. So half of what Adam gets is 3. So Adam must have 6. What fraction of the amount of money does Linda get? So how many parts are there in total? 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10 parts. Linda gets 3 parts. So what's the fraction? 3/10. 3 parts out of 10 parts is 3/10. Question 20. Pens and pencils are sold in a shop. 12 pencils cost £1.80. The ratio of the cost of a pen to the cost of a pencil is 7:3. Work out the cost of 5 pens. So let's work out what a pencil costs. So £1.80. £1.80 divided by 12. So £1.80 divided by 12 is 15p. No pounds and 15 pence. So 15p per pencil. The ratio of the cost of a pen to the cost of a pencil is 7:3. And we know it's 15p per pencil. So it might have been easier if I started with 180 and just worked out 15 pence. But anyway, so 15p per pencil. How much is it per pen? So what do you times 3 by to get 15? That's 5. So we'll have to multiply the 7 by the same thing. And 7 5s are 35. So it's 35p per pen. We want 5 pens. So 35 times 5 is 175. That's 175p. So £1.75p. Question 21. Write 84 as a product of its prime factors. So some calculators will do this for you. This one doesn't have you'd see a little fact written up here. And if you had that button, you can write the number in, press equals, and then shift fact. But this one hasn't got that button. So we'll work it out. So 84, and we're just going to break the number down. So we need two things that multiply to make 84. Let's do 2 times 42. 2 is prime, 42 isn't, so we're going to break that down again. So 42 is again in the 2 times table, and it's 2 times 21. And 2 is prime, I'm going to circle it. 21 isn't, 21 is 3 times 7. And 3 is prime, and 7 is prime. So 3 times 7 is 21, times 2 is 42, times 2 is 84. So we can say 84 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. And I'll check my answer. 2 times 2 times 3 times... No, I've got an answer there. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 is 84. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. We could write that as 2 squared times 3 times 7. They both mean the same thing. You get 84. Find the lowest common multiple of 60 and 84. So let's quickly write 60 as a product of its prime factors as well. So 60 is 2 30s, 30 is 2 15s, and 15 is 3 5s. So I'm going to draw 2 circles. So I've got a 60 circle and an 84 circle. So in both of them, let me just write 84 here. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. And 60 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So in both of them, I've got a 2. And another 2. And a 3. And then in 60, I've got a 5. And in 84, I've got a 7. So the lowest common multiple is all of these numbers multiplied together. So 5 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. And, well, this circle multiplies together to make 60. And this circle multiplies together to make 84. So it doesn't matter if we write it all out, 5 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. But we've already got 60 here. So multiply it by 7, 420. So 5 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 is 420. So 420 is the lowest number in the 60 times table and in the 84 times table. Question 22. So we've got our set, our universal set, so all the numbers that are going to go in here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And A is all the even numbers. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. B is all the factors of 10. So 10 is either 1 times 10 or 2 times 5. There are no other factors of 10, no other numbers that multiply to make 10. So B is 1, 2, 5, and 10. So in the middle are the numbers in both of them. So they've both got a 2 and a 10. And then A has also got 4, 6, and 8. B has also got 5. So what's left on the outside? So we've used 4, 6, 8, 2, 10, and 5. So on the outside, we've got 1, 3, 7, and 9. 1, 3, 7, 9. And there should be 10 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability. It's in the set A and B. So in the middle bit. In the intersection of these two. In this bit here. So we've got 2 numbers in here. So 2 numbers are in the intersection out of 10 numbers in total. So it's 2/10. Question 23. Carlo puts tins into small boxes and into large boxes. He puts 6 tins into each small box. He puts 20 tins into each large box. Carlo puts a total of 3,000 tins into boxes, so that the number of tins in small boxes, so the ratio to the number of tins in large boxes, so small to large is 2 to 3. Carlo says that less than 30% of the boxes filled, less than 30% of the boxes filled with tins are large boxes. Is Carlo correct? So 3,000 tins in the boxes. The ratio of tins in small boxes to tins in large boxes is 2 to 3. So let's share out these 3,000 tins. So we've got 5 parts. So 2 parts small boxes, 3 parts large boxes, and we want 3,000 tins. So 3,000 divided by 5, 3,000 divided by 5 is 600. So each of these is 600. So this is how many tins are in small boxes and how many tins are in large boxes. So 2 600s, 1,200. 3 600s, 1,800. So this is how many tins in boxes. So 1,200 tins in small boxes, and that's 6 tins per box. So 1,200 divided by 6, that's 200 small boxes. And 1,800 tins in large boxes, 20 in a box. So 1,800 divided by 20, that's 90. So 90 large boxes. So Carlo says less than 30% of the boxes are large. So we've got 90 large boxes, 290 boxes in total. So what percentage are large? So 90 out of 290 are large, times 100 to make it a percentage. 90 out of 290 times it by 100. So 31%. And Carlo said it was less than 30%. So is Carlo correct? No. 31% is actually bigger than 30%. Question 24. Complete the table of values for y equals 5 minus x cubed. So 5 minus x cubed. So we're going to substitute these x's in here to find out the y's. So the y is 5 minus the x number cubed. And in the calculator, 5 minus the x number and then cubed. And I can just substitute the x numbers in where this bracket is. So when x is -2, we get 13. When x is 0, we get 5. When x is 1, we have 4. And when x is 2, we have -3. So let's draw these on the graph. So on the grid below, draw the graph of y equals 5 minus x cubed for values of x from -2 to 2. So we've got -2, 13. So the y-axis is going up in 2s. So 13 is halfway between 12 and 14. -1, 6. 0, 5. 1, 4. And 2, -3. Now we're going to join them up with the curve. So something like that. And there is our graph. Question 25. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So we've got a right angle triangle here. And it's not Pythagoras, because Pythagoras is when we've just got 3 lengths involved. We've got an angle here, so we're using trigonometry SOHCAHTOA to find out this missing length. So let's label it first. So opposite the angle, the side opposite the angle, is called the opposite. The longest side of a right angle triangle, so opposite the right angle, is called the hypotenuse. And the one in between the right angle and the angle is called the adjacent. So we're using SOH, or TOA. So we're using H and O, we're not using A. So it can't be the ones with A in. So it's SOH, O and H. SOH means sine with the angle equals O divided by H. You also might use a triangle to work this out. It doesn't matter which way you use as long as you're comfortable using it. So let's substitute in. So sine with the angle, which is 34. So I've got sine 34 equals O, which is x, over H, which is 178. I want x by itself, so I want to multiply both sides by 178. To get rid of a divide, we do the opposite of dividing, which is multiplying. So multiply both sides by 178. So 178 times sine 34 equals x. So 178. You don't have to write the times sign. That will do it automatically. You can write it. You just don't have to. So 178 sine 34 equals, and to 1 decimal place, I've got 99.5. So that's 99.5. It's x millimeters, so we don't have to write millimeters, but we may as well. So 99.5 millimeters. Question 26. Find 2a minus 3b as a column vector. So we've got 2 of these a's, which is 3, 4. Take away 3 b's, which is 5, -2. So when I'm multiplying this, I've got 2 lots of 3, 4. 3, 4 just means right 3, up 4. So 2 lots of going right 3 up 4. So right 3 up 4, right 3 up 4 again. We just multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So 2 lots of 3, 4 are 6, 8. So if we went right 3 up 4 twice, we'd go right 6 up 8. And then we'll do the same with this 3 lots of 5, negative 2. So this is right, going right 5, and then down 2. So if we did that 3 times, 3 5s are 15, and 3 negative 2s are negative 6. So if I went right 5 spaces and then down 2 spaces, 3 times, I'd go right 15 and then down 6. So then we just need to take away. So I'm going to do the top line. 6 take away 15. 6 take away 15 is negative 9. So 6 take away 15 is negative 9. And then 8 take away negative 6. So when we're doing a minus minus, we plus. So 8 take away negative 6 is positive 14. Question 27. The diagram shows a right angled triangle and a quarter circle. The right angled triangle ABC has angle ABC 90 degrees. The quarter circle has a center C and a radius of CB. Work out the area of the quarter circle. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So we need to use the triangle first to work out this length here, which would be the radius of the quarter circle. So if this is our x on a right angled triangle, we're using Pythagoras. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or here we've got x squared plus 6 squared equals 9 squared. So the two short sides squared and added together equals the hypotenuse squared. So x squared plus 6 squared equals 9 squared. So 6 squared is 36. 9 squared is 81. Take them away. So 9 squared take away 6 squared is 45. 81 take away 36 is 45. So x squared is 45. So x is the square root of 45. Square root of 45. I've got this 3 root 5. I'm just going to leave this in my calculator. So I'll write it down, 3 root 5, but I'm just going to leave it there in the calculator, and I'll use the ANS button. So we now want the area of a quarter circle. So the area of a whole circle is pi times the radius squared. So for a quarter circle, it's going to be pi times the radius squared divided by 4. And the radius is my last answer. So the area of the quarter circle is pi times my last answer squared divided by 4. And actually the last answer squared was 45 because we square rooted it to get 3 root 5. So it's pi times 45 divided by 4. But I'm going to use the ANS button anyway. So I've got pi times the last answer divided by 4. Last answer squared. Which is 45 over 4 pi. 45 over 4 pi. So that makes sense. We knew this was 45. So 45 pi over 4. But we want our answer for 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, 35.3. Question 28. Each exterior angle of a regular polygon is 15 degrees. Work out the number of sides of the polygon. So the exterior angle, so 360 divided by how many sides a shape has got equals, so for a regular polygon, 360 divided by the number of sides equals the exterior angle, the sides of each exterior angle. So we're told the exterior angle is 15. How many sides has it got? So 360 divided by what number equals 15? And what we can actually do is 360 divided by 15, and that's 24. So 360 divided by 24 is 15. So 24 times 15 make 360. So n must be 24. 24 sides. And question 29, the last question on the paper, write down the gradient of the line with equation y equals 2x plus 3. So the equation of a line is in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. So this equation here has got a gradient of 2. M is 2.